Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to new video, and today's video is the last session of chapter agriculture. Chapter number 4, agriculture in geography. In the last video, I have guided you that how to attempt map question, especially with the reference of chapter number 4, agriculture. And today I am going to discuss with you few additional questions. Generally, that is our tradition, especially of social science department. First we discuss, means we explain the chapter, we provide note, then after exercise and few additional questions. And for previous chapters, I have already provided you questions along with the solution. But today I am going to discuss here few, or I would like to say some of the important questions that we can take them as practice question, exercise, additional questions, extra question, right? So those questions are basically mixed, very short, brief, or in detail. So first question, what is importance of agriculture in Indian economy? This is short type of question. How to write? India is agricultural country and nearby 65% of population depend on agriculture for its livelihood. More than 65% of population depends on agriculture. Second, it provides food, raw material for industries and some product for export. Third point, it accounts for about 25% of the gross domestic product, GDP. 25% of GDP, that share of primary sector. So this is how we write the answer. This answer is of 3 marks, so 3 points. More, if this kind of question has 1 mark, so you can write any of the important points. Those all 3 points are important. So like if 1 mark of question, you can write that it provides raw material, it provides food as well as some products for export as well. So here is your answer. Alright. Now next question with you. Name 3 features of Indian agriculture. So here are 3 features. First, the food security is ensured, that food security ensured by the agriculture of India, agriculture sector. Second, several raw materials for industries are produced. For example, cotton, jute, sugarcane, right? That is also one of the features. Third, produces several products for export such as tea, coffee, cotton. More we can count that about the features of agriculture that as we discussed before, more than 65% of people depends upon it, agriculture. Alright, those are the features. And one more feature, 25% of total gross domestic product. Those are the features. Basically 3 features are required, but as many times I said, many times I actually describe to you that why we write 1 or 2 points additional. Alright, so when we write the answer, better to write it 3 marks of question. That is advisable to write minimum 4 points. We don't need to go for 10 points or 8 points. Minimum 4 points, 5 points you can maximum write. That's all. 6 point, maximum 6 point, that is the limit. Don't go beyond it. Alright, if 3 marks question. Now next question. What is plantation agriculture? Same type of crop grow in the large area, that is plantation, right? So it is bush or tree farming such as tea, rubber, coffee, etc. It is large scale single crop farming which involves huge capital, good management, technical knowledge and better transport facilities like tea crops. Alright. Question number 4. Name three important wheat producing states in India. This is the question of 1 mark, as well as this question is of map question as well. Like in the last video we have discussed, if you remember. Right, so Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. For particular area we count western part of Uttar Pradesh, but as state we count one Uttar Pradesh. Alright, next, sugarcane producing states. Sugar bowl, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh. Next, mention spice producing states of India. Spices, Kerala, Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Next, name the tobacco producing states of India. This is the additional question. Gujarat, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka. There is additional question. Just given for your information purpose. Next, here, distinguish between shifting and subsistence agriculture. Here you need to write points. I am going to discuss it in brief points. So here how to write differences. There are different ways. Like you can write in one column about shifting agriculture, and second column you can write about subsistence farming. Otherwise, second option, you can write first all about the shifting agriculture and then after subsistence agriculture. Second way that I suggest. Otherwise, that is up to you. So, shifting agriculture, it is used in forest land. Now, here second point, subsistence agriculture, used area suitable for agriculture. So, better I tell you first about the shifting agriculture, then subsistence agriculture. Alright? So, shifting agriculture used in forest land. Second, farmers have to move place to place after 2 or 3 years, because they do not use fertilizers. Over the years, land loses such fertility, so they have to move. Earlier we have discussed. Third one, the yield is low. Productivity per hectare of land, that is lower, per piece of land, lower. Next, no cash crops are grown. Cash crops such as sugarcane, fiber crops, beverage crops, those are cash crops. Other like than cereal or maize or other crops are called cash crops or commercial crops, basically used in industries. Next, here about subsistence farming is used in area suitable for agriculture. Next, here farmers do not have to move from one place to another place. They have a particular piece of land, and generally they have here small piece of land. Next, yield is high. Yield is high because here they utilize modern means of farming. Next, cash crops can also be grown. So those are differences between primitive subsistence farming and intensive subsistence farming. Slash and burn, shifting cultivation and intensive subsistence farming. Next question, distinguish between rabi crops and kharif crops. Easy. Here growing season. Rabi is sown in October and November. Rabi is sown in October and November in the winter. Rabi crops. Now kharif crops, it is sown with the onset of monsoon, basically June or early July, because in different regions that monsoon begins in different time. So from June to early July. Next, the crops depend upon the moisture of subsoil. That soil absorbs moisture, and rabi crops mainly use that moisture. And here kharif crops depend upon monsoon. Third one, the harvesting of crops, harvesting of rabi crops. in April to May, general. And for Kharif crops, harvesting is done in October, November. Fourth point, the important crops are wheat, gram, mustard, oilseeds, etc. And Rabi crops, those are Rabi crops. And now Kharif crops, rice, millets, maize, ground, jute, etc. So difference between here Rabi crops and Kharif crops. Next question, distinguish between dry and wet agriculture. Just informative because not much detail is given in your textbook. Dry practice in low rainfall area and wet in high, moderate to high rainfall area. So irrigation facilities are not sufficient in dry type of agriculture. Wet agriculture can be taken where irrigation facilities are sufficient. Third one, crops like mainly here pulses, jowar, bajra, such kind of crops they grow which require less amount of water. And wet type of crops like rice, wheat, sugarcane, etc. Next, next question. Describe the condition required for jute and distribution. Jute requires hot and humid climate. The ideal temperature above 25 degrees Celsius. Third, rainfall above 150 centimeter annual. Now areas, it produces in West Bengal, Assam, Bihar, Odisha and Meghalaya. So by this question, I think one thing you have noticed that everything are connected. Remember, questions are basically not fixed, means this kind of questions will come or such kind of questions will come. No particular frame question. Here you have to understand the content. Like here about jute you have seen, it can be as 1 mark question, can be as 3 mark question, can be as map question, right? So many possibilities are there. On the same small content, many possibilities are there. Possibilities of many different types of questions. So as many times I said before, rectification is inadequate, you have to understand. And mainly here about this chapter, one table, not one table, I think 3 different tables are already shared in a group, right? So if possible, you have to note down all those tables in your regular notebook and study about those crops from this table easier for you, because basically points are given there instead of all those details, simple points are there, so easy, convenient to remember, convenient to make differences, some different types of crops. Alright, next here, which is the staple food crop of India? Write 4 major producing area of that crop. So staple crops, most important, rice followed by wheat. So rice, staple food crop of India is rice. And major producing states, let's recall what we had learned yesterday in map: West Bengal, Assam, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, right? Odisha, those are major rice producing states. Here, next question, explain food security. In 9th standard, we people had learned about the food security. Explain food security. So, gradual shift from cultivation of cereal crops to cash crops like fruits, vegetables, oilseeds, and crops which provide raw materials to industries has been done. Because farmers, as you have noticed, if you know, that give more importance to those cash crops instead of cereal crops, because possibilities of their profit more in cash crops, those commercial crops. So this had led to reduction of net sown areas of cereal crops. So as result, net sown of cereal crops had been reduced. So cereal crops like wheat, rice, millets and pulses had been reduced. With the growing of population, the reduction in production has put a big question mark over the country's future of food security, because day by day population is increasing. At the same time, production of food crops reducing. So of course that is imbalance. More food when we require more food. At that time, food production in our country is reducing. So that is the question mark for food security in India, because in future it will create problem of scarcity of food. Next here, describe the impact of globalization on Indian agriculture. Impact of globalization on Indian agriculture. First, the aim of globalization is to integrate our national economy with that of the world. In the beginning I said what is globalization? Integration, connections between different economies, that is called globalization. So aim of globalization in India to connect, to integrate Indian economy with the economies of the world. Next, so this aim, this target that agriculture has to achieve this target. Next, it is based on the philosophy of free and open international trade. Third one, there is no need of agreement and negotiation with any country. Fourth one, the product of good quality will survive in the market, because here no restriction, no protection. The best will survive. Sorry. Next, thus the basic two factors are use of advanced technology and vast capital. So here Indian agriculture suffers with the foreign competition. Reasons we have seen. So all we need to do that, first of all, to save small farmers, as well as use of advanced technology, vast capital. Next, we have a better access to the reasonable and abundant capital from all parts of the world. Last one, to stand in the global competition, biotechnology may be used. That earlier we have discussed about genetic engineering. So that is the best we can say for the better of agriculture. Now next year, despite the green revolution, the food production has started to show decline trend. How? We know the green revolution, right? But despite of it, food production has started to slow down, reducing. Why? How? Let's see. In the past 50 years, production of food grains has increased from 51 million ton to 209 million ton. There is rapid increase in population. Actually, due to green revolution, that our production has increased. But at the same time, second point here, there is rapid increase in population in India. Rapid increase in population in India requires food grains, pulses, oilseeds and vegetables. Of course, growing population demands food. So, production increases, but at the same time, demand increases more. Third one, there is surplus food grains But 26% of population in India are below poverty line. We can have surplus grain, more than required. We can export, but condition of our country, we know, more than 26% of population are below poverty line. Next, there are reduction of net sown area under food grains due to gradual shift from cultivation of food crops to food, fruits, cash crops and vegetables. Like just we have discussed, shift from food crops, from cereal and pulses to cash crops. Like before, farmers prefer to grow wheat, rice, pulses, millets, but now they prefer to grow cotton, sugarcane, right? Such kind of cash crops. So of course that net sown area of food crops has reduced. So of course, as a result, production reduces. Next, with declining food production and increasing population, many disrupt the future of food security. As food production decline and population increase, so that is question mark for us because it may disrupt future food security in India. Next, last point 61. The food production 2000-2001 was 199 million tons. We sometimes use MT, million tons, not metric, million tons. So here about green revolution and scarcity of food. More, what are millets? This kind of questions may come in exam, like even 1 mark, 3 mark questions and 5 mark questions. Multiple questions means like division here. What are millets of 1 mark? Continue. There is a one question. Okay, I am going to read this question first. Afterwards, I will explain. What are millets? Why are millets very important food crops in India? Explain with the help of 3 points. Alright, 3 marks question, 3 questions. Each carries 1 mark. So, for example, if you write 3 points as answer of first question, but ultimately you will get maximum 1 mark because division of marks here. You have to answer all 3 questions to get full marks. Got it? So, in India, the important millets grown are jowar, bajra and ragi. These crops are grown in dry and wet area as it required very little rainfall. Dry and warm area. Like even in the areas of like Himachal Pradesh as well as in Rajasthan, there can be grown. Some areas like Spiti valleys, some part of Ladakh, and some valleys are dry here. Similarly, like some part of Kashmir as well, Ladakh and Kashmir. So where less rainfall, right, dry area, desert kind of area. So where people there grow millets. Even like in Rajasthan, too, some part of Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat as well. Those kind of crops can be survived. Second, its production is very high and value is too low. Easy to get production, but value of those crops that is low. It is also called coarse grains. It is consumed generally by the rural folk, those tribal people as well as rural people. Barely those urban people eat such kind of grains. Yes, they eat happily with the status multigrain bread, multigrain biscuits. So those multigrains basically contain such kind of crops only, like beverage, Horlicks, Complan, and such kind of beverage. They contains malt from jowar, from bajra, jowar, right? So those are like earlier we have discussed. Those crops contain highly nutritional nutrients. Next here, rice farming. Few questions are there, but I don't think so. Much description required on those questions. Uh, Finding the last question. Describe the various technological and institutional reforms which led to green and white revolutions in India. So first here, technical inputs resulted in the green revolution in 60s and 70s of 20th century, 1960s, 1970s. High yielding and early maturing variety of seeds have been used, hybrid seeds, HOID seeds. Instead of biofertilizers, those traditional fertilizers, chemical fertilizers are used. Flooding of fields are replaced by drip irrigation and use sprinkles. So this is our features of green revolution, right? Before they just flooded field for irrigation with just releasing water into farm, into field. But now drip technique as well as sprinkles. Next, instead of traditional animals and traditional tools, machines introduced. Those are the features of green revolution. Now, white revolution. The dairy development led to the white revolution, or also called Operation Flood. Second, the dairy cooperation in rural areas helped in rural development. Third, the national milk grid achieved Operation Flood. Next, crossbreed from foreign and native cattle have been developed. Crossbreeding, high yielding milk of cow and buffaloes. So those are the main questions. Some additional questions I'll provide you, and notes also provided in the previous videos as well as shared with you in your group. So first of all, complete those notes. Yesterday's map activity, that is mandatory tool. You have to stick those maps in your notebook, regular notebook, like earlier you have done. And those extra questions I shared in a group to means shared by the principal sir, along with the answers. Alright, so those we have to write. Alright, so here with this today's session, our chapter agriculture is complete. If you have any doubt, any query, you can ask on the helpline number. You can comment section below, and you can give your feedback on the comment section. Alright, see you soon with one new video tomorrow. Take care. Thank you.